I'm going to approach this one from a different stance, primarily because I'm going to be sending it to a mother figure of mine who, hey ma, I got into a conversation with recently, and she was just blaming everything, the world collapsing, all of this nonsense on the president. Ma, I love you, but it's been 3 years. It's been 3 years. We've had, Ukraine. We've had Russia. We've had Stormy Daniels. We've had just incident and story and scandal and, people the turncoats earlier on in the administration, including Omarosa and the like. There's a bit of just like I don't know how much more it would take for anyone to say, hey, there's a lot of BS going on. I mean, really. So when it comes to this situation right here, the president made a video that we're going to get into right quick. And I want to, we'll break it down and I'll explain like my like where I can actually pinpoint things out at. So let's go.
Please, you can put it on. Thank you.
People should be more concerned right now with the flu in this country.
A lot of people are concerned about the coronavirus because they're hearing a lot of news about it right now. But the reality is, comparing it to the flu, for example, it's not even close to being at that stage.
What if it is worse? Is this a moment where maybe countries put politics aside, a little bit of pride aside, and do we have U.S. officials? Should U.S. professionals such as yourself get involved?
How worried should Americans be about coronavirus?
Coronavirus is not going to cause a major issue in the United States. Well, we've asked them to accelerate whatever they're doing in terms of a vaccine. We will be suspending all travel from Europe to the United States for the next 30.
So right now, what's going on is there's a lot of people, well, what were you doing in February? He was watching the stuff play out. Like, I mean, as everyone was. Right here is March 11th. He announces the travel restrictions from Europe, and it's in like 5 days later, I did the video where talking about New Jersey's curfew, the thing that the governor Phil Murphy instituted. It wasn't Trump, because that's the thing. He's at the federal level. He's dealing with that. So when it comes to everything that's supposed to be taking place at the local, state, and county level, that's it. Really, he has no hand in that. All of this, everything that we're experiencing now here in New Jersey, in particular Essex County, this is all at the hands of Governor Massachusetts Murphy. That's who's doing all this. The president, and there's also this argument going around right now when he's like, yeah, I have total authority, and you got people who take him just completely literally and go nuts. But he does have certain powers that lend him to being able to override the states. That's a part of being in the union, guys.
To unleash the full power of the federal government in this effort today, I am officially declaring a national emergency. Medicare patient.
That was on the 13th. I dropped the this is how the terrorists win video on the 16th. So everybody was kind of just was gearing up at the same time.
You can now visit any doctor by phone or video conference at no additional cost.
The first 1 million masks will be available immediately.
2 days later, they sitting there tossing out masks and getting everybody ready.
As there were more cases, and it was clear that it was spreading out of China, where it originated, the president took this move that he was widely criticized for by Democrats and even some Republicans at the time, which was he halted a number of flights from China into the U.S. The idea.
And here's the thing, like, when you sit there and start, it's one thing to be like, yeah, maybe the president could have done something better. Feel free to be in my comments, explain to me exactly what it was he could have done better, because I think that's a very interesting conversation to have. But that's not the conversation that we're having now, is it? The conversation that's being had is, oh my goodness, this all falls on Trump. And now, like the mainstream, particularly right side of the argument, are at China about it. Like, yo, like, yeah, China, you did this, like, without question. But a lot of them are putting it at the bats, right? They're like, oh yeah, like bats and wet markets where people could just eat all kind of really weird things. I recall, I don't remember where I saw it, but there was some company, there was some lab, some organization that was involved in this at the beginning, and they had like the umbrella from Resident Evil symbol, if memory serves me correctly. And I just find it strange, like that went away, that disappeared, and now it's because of bats. It is what it is.
It was to halt the spread of the disease, keep transmissions to a minimum. He was accused of xenophobia. He was accused of making a racist move. At the end of the day, it was probably effective because it did actually take a pretty aggressive measure against the spread of the virus.
And that's fantastic. Now, you may be sitting here saying to yourself, Jay, that's propaganda. I mean, like, of course, the Trump thing's going to make it sound like he did really great. But my question is what are the counter arguments, though? Particularly with the timeline, as it is. Anybody? You? But there's also another video that I want to get into, because, like I said at the beginning, Russia, Ukraine, Stormy Daniels, the Omarosa, all of these different, just everything in the kitchen sink that the, MSM, mainstream media, Fox, to an extent Fox as well, but CNN, MSNBC, all these, the establishment networks, PBS, oh my goodness, PBS, what have you been doing? Yamichi is the worst. But either ways, they've been throwing all of these, individuals out there at home, just trying to slam them with emotion. And guys, I don't consider it helpful. I really don't. And I really want you guys, particularly you though, Ma, love you. I really want you to check out this exchange.
Every Democrat thought I made a mistake when I did it. I saved tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of lives by doing it.
That you bought, the argument is that you bought yourself some time. You didn't use it to prepare hospitals. You didn't use it to ramp up testing.
Okay, so, and hear what she's going off about, right? You didn't use it to ramp up hospitals and testing. Like, isn't that a state thing? Like, aren't local hospitals and where they're planted, these are state issues. These aren't the federal ones. And having that mix up isn't helpful at all. The soccer mom energy is strong with this one.
You're so disgraceful. It's so disgraceful the way you say that. Let me just listen. I just went over it.
Or this rant supposed to make you.
Oh my goodness. Like, I guess it's really interesting that everything's wearing red, because this chick is just perioding everywhere. Thousands are dead. Oh no. It's like, lady, come on. Be a professional. Like ask a straightforward question that you can get a straightforward answer from. Don't sit here and try to bombard this man doing his job with a ton of emotion. It's not a good look. Mainstream media, it's not a good look. Get rid of these soccer moms, man, for real. Like, this type of sensibility. There's a reason the 80s and the 90s are so fondly remembered, because everybody had balls. This is just terrible. Like, seriously, just sit here just trying to emotionally manipulate, because that's the only game that the feminine has.
I just went over
in an unprecedented crisis.
Nobody thought we should do it. And when I did it...
But what did you do at the time that you bought? The month of February. That video was a gap.
What do you...
That's the thing. She's talking about the time of February, right? And we saw on the time and on the banner right there that between February and March, he was sitting there declaring emergencies and taking notice and letting it play out to see, hey, how many people are coming in? What is it looking like? And, like, measures were taken. Relatively speaking, the numbers that we're at right now are still I mean, relatively speaking, fantastic. Not every loss of life is terrible, but like, I mean, when we come across situations like this, it's important to just remain calm and have perspective, and that perspective can't be clouded with the emotional, with that feminine mind. You know, hopefully it's sinking in. Is it? Fingers crossed. I'm praying.
What do you do when you have no case in the whole United States?
You had cases
When
in February.
excuse me,
Sweetheart, they just started coming in. Not to cut you off, Mr. President, but they just started coming in February. Like, you gotta watch out. You gotta take a moment and see how it plays out. Jesus.
reported it. 0 cases, 0 deaths on January 17th.
January, February, the entire
January,
month of
I said in
February. Your video
January.
has a complete gap.
On
Month of
January
February.
30th.
What did your administration do in February with the time that your travel ban?
I don't care about any of the sense or the calm that you're trying to speak to me with. I am nothing but emotions. And you know what? I just got through with a really bad breakup. And so, you know, and my mom is just like telling me, oh, when I'm going to bring the babies. And then, you know, I had like 3 abortions. So my goodness, it's just nothing but a ball of emotion. It's like, lady, shut up. Oh my God.
A lot. And in fact, we'll give you a list. What we did, in fact, part of it was up there. We did a lot. Look. You know you're a fake. You know that. Your whole network, the way you cover it, is fake. And most of you, and not all of you, but the people are wise to you. That's why you have a lower approval rating than you've ever had before, times probably 3.
Gotta love this. Like, Ma, he just sits there like, yo, look, you suck. Everybody knows you suck. Like just that this shit. like, come on. Like, and this is the thing. Like I keep bringing up, all for the past, like, actually, it's been longer than 3-4 years. But if like going extra hard over the past few years, how can you sit here and be like, oh yeah, like, you know, he doesn't have the fortitude, he doesn't have the chutzpah necessary to do the job, when he's sitting here really knocking it out the park as we speak. I mean, come on. And trying to blame it on him, blame any of this on him is a fool's errand, because guess what? Now the economy needs to be rebuilt. And the deal is that seeing how he did such a fantastic job the first time, the American people are just going to be like, yeah, boom. No point in changing. Absolutely no point in changing. Particularly for Biden. And the reason I feel so compelled to make this video and send it to you is because I don't want you to get your hopes up. I don't want you to have your hopes up. No offense, but it's just like if I see a train coming, I'm going to try to push you out of that train's way 10 times out of 10 because I love you. You know, that's all it is, you know? I mean, my goodness. So, yeah, let's finish this up.
When you ask me that question, let me ask you this: why did Biden apologize? Why did he write a letter of apology? No, that's very important.
Oh, no one cares about why Biden didn't apologize, because guess what? He's sitting here trying to go for your job right now that I've never had, or really anybody else has ever had. So it's kind of weird to sit here and tell you what you should be doing in a position that I've never particularly been in. But the other guy that's actually looking for your position, I mean, that's not important. People don't care about that. Yeah, come on. It's silly. We've gotten ridiculous. I hate to say it, but I mean, this country needs an adult. My goodness, America needs an adult, because it's kind of jacked up that Donald Trump's the adult. What? Yeah, the guy that was in Playboy, the guy that, like, you know, is just you've seen your entire life, particularly if you're American. Like he's the adult in the room right now. God help us all, right? But hey, screw it. Some adulting is better than, you know, soccer mom going completely menstrual over here. So with that being said, we're going to bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff. If you liked it, toss it a like, dislike, go ahead, do that too. Nobody's scared of you. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice and you want to get videos like this every single day. Share, because sharing is caring. And YouTube and BitChute and like are the biggest fans of your boy over here for very obvious reasons. Ring the bell for notifications and speak. Let me know. What do you think in the comments? Yeah, so guys, this is really for like specifically for my mom. I love you. I really appreciate you. And that goes for all of you guys. But Ma in particular, please don't get your hopes up, because I don't want to see you all, oh man, yeah, Joe Biden's really gonna win. Like, Ma, you don't realize how silly you'll sound. You don't realize how silly you'll sound. I'm trying to save you here. I really am. And guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Because it's just way too. It's way too blatant now. It's just way too out there, and I really feel like throughout all of our media, we just kind of got to get rid of these, young adult author YA wine moms and aunts and shit like that, and get back to work. Man don't work, man don't eat, right? But you may disagree, and that's what the comment section's for. Until the next one.